Hey guys, you already know what time it is. It's Fuck Shit Saturdays. And yes, it's 9 o'clock. You on the fuck shit. But you already know that I'm trying to get all the information I can get on the Eligio Bishop case, better known as Nature Boy. This judge has deliberately made it her business that she doesn't want any media, getting any videos of this case. But everybody has been waiting for it.
Bro. The alleged cult leader of Carbon Nation, Eligio Nature Boy Bishop, was arrested after a former cult member claimed he posted revenge porn after she left him.
But truly, I'm a really sweet person. They want to crucify me, they want me dead. There's been hate around me. There's been feelings. That's like any other prophet. Only me, I'm the return of Christ.
Carbon Nation is a polygamous group that believes in nudism, sexual education, veganism, and that members hand over all financial information to their leader, Eligio Bishop. He has amassed significant followings on YouTube and Instagram. A former member of his group spoke with an Atlanta news station.
He literally held me hostage. He took all of my identification, my passport, my birth certificate, my social, my bank cards, everything, you name it.
Court documents claim in March of 2022, Bishop raped one of his members after refusing to let her leave. He then posted, the allegation says, the videos onto his social media pages.
So it's like, lock up all the real men, or all the dominant males. Let's lock them all up. You know what? I still forgive her.
Bishop is charged with rape, false imprisonment, and 3 charges of prohibition on nude or sexually explicit electronic transmissions. He's pled not guilty, claiming she consented to participating in the sexual acts and has never held anyone against their will.
I want to apologize if I offended anybody in any kind of way. I said it, the truth, in the wrong way. I stand by everything that I stand by.
The trial kicked off yesterday with opening statements. We want to take a look back together at some of those highlights. First from the state and then the defense.
The thread that runs through this entire story, really from the very beginning, is a desire, a thirst for knowledge, something on a spiritual level, something that transcends eras, cultures, distance. Young people experiencing and coming out into the world on their own for the first time, longing for a kind of knowledge, spirituality, of belonging. Eligio Bishop promised that. He promised that he had all of the answers to all of their questions, the answers to their prayers, and that he could fill their spiritual voids. He alone could speak the truth. He alone showed them what they could be, in tune with nature, living off the land, a communal sort of paradise. Newell first saw Eligio Bishop and his group in a restaurant where she worked. She was 22. It was about 2018. She was intrigued. The way they dressed, the way they talked, they seemed so genuine. She kept in touch with the defendant online, and she was planning a trip overseas to Bali. Instead, she left home and joined the defendant's group. Another thread that runs through this case is power. This defendant's desire to maintain power over the people in his group. There was this atmosphere of fear and violence within the group, waiting for the other shoe to drop. Who was going to be next? Power, accomplished through the ever-looming threat of physical violence. The second part of that preface, though, what the defendant did with that power. The answer to that, the evidence will show, is sex. You will hear, again from the former members, that this defendant had his choice of the women in the group. When he reached his room, he grabbed her in his arms and literally would not let her go. She was crying, and she told him she had to leave, but he would not let her go. He asked for sex one last time. She told him no. She had to leave, but he would not let her go. He asked again and again. She said no, again and again. He put her on the bed. She told him no. She had to leave, but he would not let her leave. He asked again, one last time. And finally, after countless times of saying no, realizing she wasn't leaving that room unless she gave in, she said, okay. They started having sex and she pushed him off. But even then, he would not let her leave. He flipped her over and penetrated her from behind as she was crying. He escaped the next morning before anyone woke up.
Let's go back and look at March 24th, 2022. This defendant, along with some other people, were living in a house. It essentially was a polygamous relationship. This defendant had a woman that was considered to be his queen, and then there were other women that were there as well. We're not here to hide that from you. That's not what he's charged with, okay? Now, on March 24th, 2022, indicated, based on what she told law enforcement, that she wanted to leave the house. And so she wrote text messages on that day. There will be evidence. But other things that are going to be extraordinarily relevant about March 24th, 2022 is her interview with law enforcement and the different things that she did. So on March 24th, 2022, she ended up leaving the house the next morning, which was the 25th, okay? But on that day, between the time she talks to law enforcement, which is not until April of...
So as y'all know, the case is very hard to catch, even though, you know, everybody has been waiting so long for it. But the judge has deliberately made it her point that she doesn't want any media inside of the courtroom or taking any videos of this case. She only granted, I think, Fox 5 with this. And I have been catching my footage from Court TV. And I also been watching my girl Nick at Night. She has all the footage as well. So as I said, guys, it's hard to get this video footage from the court. And because, like I said, that judge doesn't want any media inside of that courtroom taking any videos but Fox 5. And so I've been also catching it from Court TV. And my girl Nick at Night, she has all the information as well. She has access to all of that information. So I've been watching her and keeping up with that as well. So you guys stay tuned. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share. Let's watch this next video.
Leaving that room unless she gave in. She said, okay. They started having sex and she pushed him off. But even then, he would not let her leave. He flipped her over and penetrated her from behind as she was crying. He escaped the next morning before anyone woke up.
Let's go back and look at March 24th, 2022. This defendant, along with some other people, were living in a house. It essentially was a polygamous relationship. This defendant had a woman that was considered to be his queen, and then there were other women that were there as well. We're not here to hide that from you. That's not what he's charged with, okay? Now, on March 24th, 2022, indicated, based on what she told law enforcement, that she wanted to leave the house. And so she wrote text messages on that day. There will be evidence. But other things that are going to be extraordinarily relevant about March 24th, 2022 is her interview with law enforcement and the different things that she did. So on March 24th, 2022, she ended up leaving the house the next morning, which was the 25th, okay? But on that day, between the time she talks to law enforcement, which is not until April of the next month, essentially, 2 weeks later, she gives an interview to law enforcement. She never actually tells law enforcement that Mr. Bishop raped her. What she did was she came down to the DeKalb County Courthouse and she attempted to get a misdemeanor warrant against Mr. Bishop. And in that misdemeanor warrant, she didn't say anything about being raped. She said that he had posted some videos online that she wanted him to take down. That was it. She never said anything about being falsely imprisoned. because she had to make a sworn application in front of a judge in order to get a warrant taken out. So they scheduled a hearing. In that, there was never a single word about rape. She described going back into the house and that she and Mr. Bishop made love. Those were the words that she used. She additionally said that she believed Mr. Bishop was faking it, that he didn't really love her, but that he was faking being excited to have intercourse with her. Not a single word about rape. Not a single word about false imprisonment. The state's going to say, and they're going to put in evidence to prosecute, that Mr. Bishop falsely imprisoned her. And you just heard the state, through his words, and his words and my words are not evidence, but you just heard the state say that she left the house, she had called an Uber. I can't imagine how you would be falsely imprisoned if you have the ability to call an Uber. But she alleged that she was being beaten by another person. And so because she was being beaten by this other person, she decided to leave. That's what he just said. She packed her bags. Nobody stopped her from packing her bags somehow. She was able to get her paintings out of the storage. Nobody stopped her from doing that. They don't even describe, according to what he just said, Mr. Bishop stopping her from doing anything. She gets outside to an Uber that she's somehow able to call. And yet she's been beaten so bad, according to her. When she gets out to the Uber, she decides that she wants to go back in and say goodbye to a person who allegedly has treated her so bad for so long. That's not false imprisonment.
Still with us, attorney Ron Zambrano. Ron, just very different characterizations of what was going on and what happened. But the state, I thought, delivered a powerful opening to say what he did with that power is the problem, and that he would not let her go, and that he did have sex with her, even though she'd said no, amounting to rape and false imprisonment.
I think it was skillfully done how he laid this foundation of like, this guy had power. He wanted the power. He asked for the power. That's where we're starting from. And then from there, it's this argument from the prosecution side.
So guys, this is a ruthless situation. Now they're calling Eligio and the cult situation that he got going on a polygamous cult leader type thing. And as I said before on my last video, I felt like it was like some poly type shit going on. And that's the reason why these women chose to go and live with him inside this home. Excuse me. And I also think that that's why the men came too. So the thing about this is, you know, his ex-wife, everybody is not really trying to say her name because she's one of the witnesses on the trial, but everybody knows who she is, who's been watching this go on for so many years. But it seems to me like she was ready to go. She didn't want the poly relationship anymore. Maybe she got jealous or upset or something because he was showing more to Malia when Malia came. He was very interested in Malia. So it kind of made it awkward for everybody. But there has been some women that has actually been with him way before Malia. They've been there a very long time, and he didn't make them his wife, or he didn't make them, you know, the queen or the head woman in the household. So they didn't get jealous, but they would fight. They would jump. They would do other things that we've all seen, you know, in different videos that he's posted on YouTube and Bigo. But it's just gotten out of hand now. It really has gotten out of hand. I'm not really understanding. So I don't know if y'all have ever watched that show Ruthless that comes on BET, you know, plus that Tyler Perry has. I think Tyler Perry wrote this series, but I've been watching it. I kind of like it. I've been keeping up with it. It's actually weird, and it lets you know that it's been going on for a very long time. Like, Tyler didn't come up with this for no reason. This has actually been going on in different states, different countries. You know, you just don't know. And if you guys can remember it, it was the show that used to come on, I think, MTV, or maybe I don't think it was the Oxygen channel. But long story short, it used to come on, and it was all about saving those young girls that would like go and be in this cult, and they thought that they was going to like better their lives, and then they found out that they was actually getting in a cult where the man wanted to have all of these different wives and get everybody pregnant, and he would beat on them and hold them hostage. So this is actually no different than what has already been planned on TV. The only thing about it is that this is a black man, you know, and he's now doing this, or it just came, you know, to face that this is what's been going on. He's not the only person that's actually doing this. It's some other cults that need to be taken down or addressed for this situation or how they're running it, because they could do it, but they're just not running it right. It seems to me like everybody wants greed in the world, and it's not just for the money. Well, technically it is for the money, because when those people came to Eligio's house, he took their bank accounts, their money, just different stuff to like build himself up. And not only that, when that PPP dropped, that man had everybody get that PPP loan, and them people got a good portion of some money out here. The thing about this case is, what's hindering Eligio is that, yes, you video a lot of this stuff, right? And a lot of this stuff, you just was really wrong, and you have to face the fact that you was wrong. And especially when it came to like hitting on these women, and then you were having other women jump on the other women. That just wasn't right. That's not how you find God. I don't think that, like, that ain't how you find God. So the crazy thing about that, the men that are actually going to testify against Eligio, that's also going to be witnesses in his side of his case, were some of the men that was inside of the cult. And if you can look at old videos, they came along as well, because like they said, they wanted to be him. They wanted to be just like him. They wanted to run, you know, whatever. They wanted to have multiple women. They just wanted to be like him. So they came to the leader so that they can learn what they could learn so they could be like him. But as a man, you know, well, I'm not a man, but I got a question for you men. Like, as for a man, like, how do you feel going down rubbing another man's feet when he asks you to, or him taking off his shoes because he told you to, or he told you to bow down and get on your knees or go stand in a damn corner? Like, how do you feel as a man doing this type of shit? You shouldn't be testifying about him right now. I think you need to go and testify as God for forgiveness. This man has stole your damn manhood, baby. You need to reclaim that. And, you know, I think it's kind of hard, or it's going to be hard for you to find you a woman out here, because ain't no way in the hell I want to date anybody that I just found out that you was, like, bowing down, rubbing a nigga feet and shit. Hell, nah. Hell no. I don't want nobody like that. So as we finishing up for tonight, guys, like I told you before, you have to like really be aware of the people that's around you, and also remind your kids that there's people out here that is like that. You know, they are still like snatching people up, stealing our black kids, and trying to make them do shit that they ass shouldn't be fucking doing. So teach them how to fucking fight, for real. Stranger danger. But anyway, guys, thank you for being on the fuck shit with me. Please leave a comment. You know, let me know how you felt about this video today. Let me know, you know, how you feel about this case. Let's share, you know, our thoughts. Not only just that, make sure you like and subscribe. If you don't even subscribe, just like my video. God damn, y'all. Thank you, though. Thank you for watching.